Hello Internet, welcome back to another episode of The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. In the last episode, we continued further into the Shadow Temple, clearing the room with the stone umbrella. This time, we're going to be venturing even further into the Shadow Temple, except, this time we're actually going to be going further. It feels like we spent a lot of time in the last episode in the same rooms that, we're near the entrance, and it's just because the beginning of this temple has you run around in circles a bit. And, geez, I'm gonna get hit by everything on the way here, apparently. Down here, it's just that long stretch with the guillotine. However, there is that invisible platform, which we saw in the last episode while we were looking for other invisible platforms. Just want to ride this over here, and then use the key on this door. Alright, in this room, there are re-deads. Always a joy. There's also invisible spikes. Luckily, using the hover boots, you can just go over them, but yeah, we're going to deal with the re-deads, and then we'll focus on collecting silver rupees, because what else would you do in the Shadow Temple? There we go. Both re-deads are dead. So now they're re-re-deads. And you get 5 rupees for killing them. Really? Well, anyway, to collect these silver rupees, it is really just a matter of, hook-shotting to various targets around the room. So that is what we are going to do. Mostly. There's more to it than that, though. Hook to this one. Grab that. Yeah, I hope you, are sort of understanding what I meant by this being, bottom of the well 2, but less scary, because, I don't know, something about this place is not as freaky. Probably the fact that, all the walls aren't blood-stained. That'll probably do it, yeah. This room is not the room I'm thinking of. This room isn't that bad. Do you remember Goron City when we were playing bomb skip ball using bomb flowers and it took 10 attempts to get it to spit out the piece of heart? This isn't as hard as that. This is an easier version of that. I don't like this being near bomb flowers. That could probably blow those up, and I don't want to risk it. Anyway, we have bomb flowers. We could waste bombs to do this, but why would we? Did that go in? I think it did. Yes, okay. See that spit out a small key? Gonna grab that. Love that. And there is a gold skulltula here too. Don't worry, I didn't miss it. There we go, 97th one. Back to the invisible spike room now. We'll leave that last Keese alive, I guess. Never mind, we need to kill it in order to get out. Where are you? Get down here. God, what does it take to get you to want to kill a boy from age 4 to 14? There we go. Okay. And now we need to get up there to where there's a locked door. However, there is no hookshot target. Yes, there is. It's just invisible somehow. Don't know how, because that's built into the construction, but whatever. Who am I to judge how the magic of making things invisible works in The Legend of Zelda? Right now, it looks like we just got spike traps, but there's also those fans, and this is where having the iron boots comes in. Yeah, just have both types of boots equipped now. It's not asking that much of you in Ocarina of Time 3D when you have 5 item slots. Using the iron boots, you can get through here without the fans having any effect on you. So yeah, fans being here is a little weird. There is evidence to suggest that the Forest Temple was originally going to be either a wind temple or it was just going to focus significantly on wind. And ultimately that was changed, and I think for the better, but you can even see that with the, symbol on the forest medallion looking kind of windy. It doesn't really look like anything foresty except maybe the top of a palm tree, but yeah, that was apparently repurposed and moved into the Shadow Temple, which is kind of funny. That is going to shoot fireballs at us. We can just run through and avoid it. Not that hard. And that'll get us in here. This room is completely optional. You don't need to do anything, but I am going to get grabbed by a re-dead, just to make his day. And I'll kill another re-dead too. And not get grabbed, thank God. Feels like I get grabbed by every Redead in this playthrough so far. What do you have to say, sir?
Those who have sacred feet should let the wind guide them. Then they will be led to the hidden path.
That's what they're saying. Cool. Good for them. Yeah, there's nothing really to do in this room, so we are going to go back out to the other room. It was just giving us a hint at how to actually solve this previous room. Go out here. We can get set on fire by the silver eye switch that doesn't actually do anything. And see that there is a fake wall right there that fan can blow us into. We are going to go in front of that fan, put on the hover boots, get set on fire again, because who cares? When this fan starts, you want to start by resisting it until it's going full force, then just get over here. Not too hard. Oh look, more Gibdos. Okay, let me go. Thank you. Still just 2 hits to kill him. These are basically just harder versions of Redeads, at least, so I am still going to get grabbed by them. It's the same principle that forces me to get hit by every Redead I ever see. See? I have the Bigoron sword. I don't need to get that close to them to kill them. It's just like force of habit, basically. Okay. Now open this chest, which doesn't have a key. But it probably would have a shield if you lost it to a like somehow. Anyway, you may have noticed there was a red crack in that rubble there. So we are just going to throw a bomb and then re-equip the hover boots to a button because it's more convenient. And there's something invisible here, which is a key. This is the meanest key of all time. In my test playthrough, I completely missed it and just like went all the way back through the temple looking for a key, only to realize on the map there was a chest in this room. Yeah, that was a pain in the ass. All right. We are in this room now with this big old boat. And this. We could have gotten into this room much earlier, but we wouldn't have been able to get down here because we hadn't, like, unlocked the shortcut. We now have. We can go much earlier in the temple, much faster, and if we die again here, we can easily get, back, basically. So don't worry about dying beyond this point. As soon as you move this block, that's saved. At least as soon as you move this block to where it's supposed to be, that is. There we go. I also want to climb up here just in case there's something I'm missing. Doesn't seem like it. However, I did miss a joke that I think is really funny, so I'm going to climb all the way back up real quick. What do you think, sir? This wall, it's saying something. It says,
if you want to see a ferry to the other world, come here.
And then it just forces you off into the abyss, where you can, in fact, see a ferry to the other world, but that block would have stopped you from actually going through. Yeah. Well, we know where the ferry to the other world is, so we are going to get on board. Now, the way to start this is pretty obvious, but first, Navi seems to think there's something over there. And I can see a gold Skulltula, so I, in fact, know there's something over there. We're gonna play the Scarecrow song. God, I wish I held that last note for a little longer at least, but whatever. When I was making the Scarecrow song specifically. We can use Pierre to get over here to get this gold Skulltula. He's probably too high to backflip, isn't he, game? 98th token. Not bad. Alright, back down to the boat. Alright, we are going to play Zelda's Lullaby to start our cruise. This ferry was redesigned in Ocarina of Time 3D. As you can see, Stalfos are going to appear on the boat to fight us, and I have never fallen off that boat before. I am so embarrassed right now. Can't remember if I said it already, so this boat had its design changed in Ocarina of Time 3D. It, instead of looking like a funny-looking bird, is like a skeleton with long red hair, and I think it's really funny. But, I don't know if funny is the right tone to strike in this temple. Anyway, Stalfos, keep your shield up, play defensively. You don't have enough time to kill this guy anyway. If you just stay on the back of the boat, he will eventually fall off himself. And if you're in the right position there, this one will fall into the void instead of even landing on the boat in the first place, which is pretty funny. But hey, there's Stalfos, we have the Bigoron sword, it's no big deal. There won't be any more bothering us. We just have the rest of the ride to ourselves. We have land there, but let's stay on till the end of the line. Why not? Yeah, Willow? Link, the ship is sinking! Abandoned ship! Get onto a safe platform! Yeah. So you don't have unlimited time to fight those Stalfos. If you have the Master Sword, you might have failed to kill them, and you'll have to jump off and just let them go down with the ship, but yeah. Anyway, next time on The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, we're nearing the end, but we still have some things left to do before the end. What? We're nearing the end, but there's still a few things left to do. Next time on The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, we finish off the remainder of the Shadow Temple. See you guys then.